So, what separates you from the alpha male? Why does she choose you at the end and the alpha male when she's having her party phase or her fun mode, right? What's going on there? Why should you even care? You should care, but why should you care? How is it going to affect your dating success? And why is it so critical to burn this in your head, okay? And the fascinating thing is why more men in 2026 aren't looking at this as a whole. Like, I guess a lot of guys get butthurt about the information about what this means. But in the game of mating and dating, there's just the guys that can adapt to the situation and those that can't, right? We're gonna cover all that stuff in this video though. We're gonna cover what you can do, why it's happening, why more men aren't looking at this and adapting to it, okay? And why it's so important. If you like this content, scroll down, hit that subscribe button, because you ain't gonna find this information, well, my perspective on this information, anywhere else, baby. Okay, so what separates you from the alpha male? Okay, and I know that's a very flabbergasting sentence. It might not just be you specifically, but what that really means is you know the whole alpha seed beta need type thing, or alpha, what, you know what I'm talking about, right? I just don't want to swear before the 5-minute mark. But what that means is when they say alpha need beta need or beta seed or alpha seed beta need, what that really means is she's not settling with a nerd. She what you see in society usually in general is women tend to I just went to a wedding 2 days ago. Exact same shit. The women don't tend to marry losers. They just don't marry chads. They kind of just marry a bot. Do you know what I'm saying? Women tend to just settle with dudes that are bots. They just they go to their 9 to 5, they do their job, they went to school, they went to college, they're just they're these programmed slaughter feed men that are just a bunch of them are just hitting 30, 35, where their income is starting to go up. Dude, this is everywhere. I know a lot of a lot of this red pill information and knowledge and stuff is kind of I don't know what, not shunned, but looked down upon in society. But you don't really have to believe in the red pill nonsense. Just go open your eyes and look around, man. You're seeing gorgeous women. I'm talking 9s and 10s everywhere, and they're marrying normal ass dudes. They're just regular guys. They're not funny. They're not handsome. They're not in shape. Hell, most of them are actually kind of porky and chunky. The whole dad bod thing, right? They're just normal ass dudes. So what's going on here, right? If the narrative is that women only want chads, well then why do you see them marrying normal body type dudes? Body is in AI robots, right? Okay, so what's going on here? Because he's good enough, basically. He's good enough to provide security and safety. That's all that is. And what is security and safety? And why do you have to care about this type of shit, right? When you meet a woman for the first time, she does an evaluation calculation in her head. She's like, is this guy an alpha or is he some guy that I would settle with? Do you know what I'm saying? And dude, when I was, this meme where it's weddings and proposals and all this stuff are male shaming rituals. It's kind of true, and it's very strange where when you go to a wedding or something like that, and clearly the girl is more attractive than the guy, her like, you know how everyone does speeches at weddings? Her girl kind of friends, or like her gal pals, will be like, we don't talk about what happened in college, har 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 har, and like the whole crowd laughs and all this shit. And then like and then if you can actually see the world through a red pill lens, you're like, that is not a joke. And like everybody kind of it's like she got railed by like four fucking Tyrones, right? It's like everyone kind of knows that, like, ha 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 ha, she met the good one now. And then the poor bastard's up on the thing and he's just like, ha ha, yeah, we don't talk about that. And I'm just like, holy shit, brother, this is insane. It's just like, it's so insane how this shit happens, man. So anyway, okay, why does this happen? And okay, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Let's cover that first. So if a girl that's 10 out of 10 settles with just a normal guy at the end, is that good or bad? That's the thing. And I guess it depends on the perspective of the man, right? Because like, let's take the average AI bot loser, right? Let's just take that guy for example. And I was talking to another young guy the other day, actually. Funny enough, I just remembered this. He was a 21-year-old kid. I say kid, but whatever, he's a kid, right? And he was talking to me about like all these things that like he wants in a woman and all these virtues. And he like, he was, I think he was religious. And I was like, I was listening to this kid talk to me about all the things he wants in a girl and all this stuff. No social media. At first, I'm like, I think you've been watching a lot of content. That's kind of the thought that came to my head, right? But I think it's more just he was religious. And then I asked the kid, I was like, how many girlfriends have you had so far? And then he's like, oh, I haven't had any yet. And I'm like, you're in trouble, brother. Like, you're in trouble. So the reason why is because a kid like that, he wasn't particularly good looking. He wasn't ugly by any means either. He was just like a normal ass bot. He's just a normal dude. I'm like, you're gonna be the kind of guy that's gonna hit 30, 35 and then get settled with. See, here's the thing. Back to the debate if that's good or not. What other alternative is that kid gonna have, right? He might if all the girls always got settled with Chads, then a guy like that wouldn't get anybody. So the thing is, women know this too, by the way. They're all secretive about this shit. So that's why they always keep their promiscuous pasts a secret. Because what the beta doesn't know doesn't hurt him. And then it comes back to the ethical gray area of, is that a bad thing? So let's step back for a second and just think about it objectively. So let's say you have like a 30-year-old virgin. He's like a 5 out of 10. He has a 9 to 5 and he's just secure. Whatever. And the woman, she's like an ex-porn star, ex-OnlyFans girl. She's banged like 100 Tyrones and Chads or whatever. He never needs to know that though. And then she settles with him and has a family with him. And now if he finds out, that's one thing. But if he just never finds out and he just lives his entire life, personally, like ethically speaking, I think that's wrong. But I like to think about devil's advocate here in all perspectives, right? I don't think the reason why I think that's ethically wrong is because the woman is basically, she's actively removing the decision from him. He should be allowed to make that decision. It's like, hey, we're gonna get married, but I've banged 100 dudes and I've had like 10 foursomes. He should be like, I'm just not okay with that. That's not the type of girl that I want. He should be allowed to make that decision. And I think maybe that's a discussion for another video about the ethics of women lying to get what they want, kind of thing. Even though he's not what she wants, she kind of knows that lying to him is what's best for him because his brain can't handle the reality of a promiscuous past, right? Anyway, that's why you don't want to be that guy. Pro tip. You do not want to be that guy. And again, just like morals and ethics removed, you just don't want to be that guy just because you don't want her to lie to you so that you have the decision. You are in control of making your own decisions. So even if you are a bot or a bottom feeder dude and you don't have much going for you, you want to pretend like you're a Chad or an alpha, and you want to pretend, this is key what I'm about to say right now, okay? This is key. You want to pretend, for the most part, you want to pretend that sex isn't a big deal to you. And that having sex with a lot of people isn't a big deal. It's not a big deal is the biggest hack when it comes to women. It's not a big deal, okay? The reason why, if she knows that you think that nothing is a big deal, you're removing the shame aspect of her past, and she's much more likely to divulge it to you. So here's the thing. She perceives you as like a beta male, like a bot that she's gonna settle down with. And she has two choices. Do we discuss my promiscuous past or do we not? Now, in order to get what she wants, if she knows that you're gonna leave if she tells you, she's not gonna tell you, right? So you need to create an environment of openness and non-judgment so that she does tell you. And even if you have to fake it, you gotta do what's best for you, brother. You wanna make it so like, oh yeah, ha ha ha, foursomes are no big deal. And then she'd be like, oh yeah, I sucked 4 dicks behind the dumpster last weekend or some shit. And, and then you're like, oh, well, that was very charitable of you. Do you know what I'm saying? Those dicks must have been quite tasty, right? And then you just ghost and you just fucking bounce, dude. That's not your business, right? It's just, but at least you had the option to at least her telling you the truth gave you the option, right? But hang on, we got sidetracked there for a second, but okay. What separates you from the alpha male? So, okay, why don't women settle with alpha males? Why is that? And why is that key? They don't settle with them because they don't provide security or comfort. That's it. So here's the crazy thing. Men are, even now in 2026, dude, right now, men en masse are being told to optimize for security and safety. What the hell? What are we doing? Why are we teaching guys this shit? Because the society would go into utter chaos if they didn't, right? So like these Scott Galloway type dudes, they're like, you need to make money, you need to pay for every date, and you need to take care of her. You need to be the traditional man. And it's like, cool story, bro. Way to just send like 100,000 dudes to the slaughterhouse. You know what I'm saying? How about we teach guys to optimize to be Chads? That's what we need to do. Fun. Tattoos, if you want to do the tattoo route, tattoos are very attractive to women, but fun, tattoos, travel, not a big deal, alcohol, partying, nothing is a big deal. Do you know what I'm saying? You need to teach guys how to be, basically what it is you need to be the guy that she can sleep with no strings attached. That's kind of that's what you want to optimize for. So the Chad, here's the thing, and here's kind of the overarching theme of this video, is men, you can visibly see the difference here. And this is the part that confuses me about the whole thing and dating in 2026. So you as a man, you can see two paths, right? You can see the alpha. He's like big and he's jacked, he has tattoos, he's an asshole, he treats women like shit, right? He's fun, he does drugs and coke and all this crazy shit. He goes partying to raves and music festivals. He gets to sleep with your girl. He gets to sleep with all the girls. He gets to have all the fun. He gets all the access with no commitment. He doesn't have to buy them shit. He doesn't have to spend his money. So objectively on paper, that is the easier route, isn't it? That's the crazy thing. It's like, that's the fun, and you get more fun. So this one's more fun. It's easier. It's, you get all the benefits and none of the cons. You don't have to take care of them. You don't have to meet the in-laws. You don't have to fix the toilet at the in-laws' house over here. You bang them, you have fun with them for a weekend, and everyone goes on their way. Then you have option B. Work your 9 to 5 until you're 30 years old or 35 years old, and then maybe one of these girls might settle with you at the end. And then your reward for doing that is a woman that cheats on you, takes half your shit, you gotta pay for her forever. And if you maybe get sex once a year on your anniversary, you're lucky. And you signed up for a perpetual life of service and slavery to somebody that doesn't even want you. Somebody that doesn't even like you. It's okay, you think about this shit, man. So you as a man, you have these two lanes. Why are we teaching guys to do lane B? Think about it. What are we doing? Like, you need to be a provider. You need to pay all her bills. And you need to take care of her. What the God, dude, what the fuck are we doing to guys, man? And I was talking to this kid. That's kind of what brought this whole video up, man. I'm talking to this kid, and I'm like, you're in so much trouble, man. Because he's such a good kid, and he has all these virtues like implanted in his head. I told him too, I'm like, brother, actually, funny enough, I gave him one pro tip. The pro tip that I gave him was like, because I was trying to like convince him that he should be more open to being a Chad and not a provider, right? I'm like, oh, buddy, you might want to be a Chad, right? You might not want to I told him he was going to be a target for snakes. And then what I told him was, okay, if you are set on being a provider at all costs, like you're the provider guy, it's like that's the path that you were raised to do. Okay, at least when you go on dates, I said, if you pay for the first date, even if you pay for the second date, either the second date or the third date, you invite them out to do something for free, like a walk, a hike, a picnic, something that you can do for free. And if she says yes to doing something with you for free, then she might just like you for you, and that's okay, then proceed. If she ghosts you or says no, or if you gotta pay attention to that shit, if she only comes out with you when she benefits monetarily, or she gets a date out of it, a dinner, she gets a gift, if she puts in no effort at all, bounce. And I think he actually did internalize that, which I'm actually super grateful for. I think I might have helped that kid out a little bit. But man, that's what I'm talking about, man. Why was that kid programmed to be a provider in a world that punishes providers? The law punishes providers. Sexual attraction punishes providers. Like everything in society, our genetics, our DNA, everything about us as a human species, we punish providers. It's like you're gonna live a life of slavery for the rest of your life. So again, back to the whole global, like, teaching men type of thing. Why are we not teaching? Well, if you're watching my channel, I'm hoping, actually, I kind of land in the middle somewhere. My provider programming is so deeply rooted, man. It's so hard for me to actually break into the party mode. I actually do like alcohol for that reason, because if I get a couple of drinks in me, man, I'm gone. I'll make out with 20 chicks in one night. But if it's like, if I'm like kind of seeing a girl, then I kind of don't want to betray her, even though I know objectively that's, if you get caught cheating, it makes them more attracted to you and shit. It still doesn't feel right to me. So I kind of get it. Like the internal programming is really deep when it comes to that beta provider shit. That's why you got to go test it. But like, here's the thing. Thankfully, my divorce ended up clean, right? Nothing bad happened. But then, like, I've gone through party phases, and you know, my fondest memories, when I look back at my long-term relationships, and I look back at like the one-night stands that I've had, and what I'm comparing is like girls that I've spent like a weekend with or like a week with, and girls who I've spent years with. And the girls that I've spent like weekends with or weeks with, I still think about them. And I think about them so fondly in terms of like, it was just so fun to be with them for that small moment in time, right? And that's what the Chad gets to experience all the time. And then the long-term relationships, they're not bad, don't get me wrong, they're good in their own way. But like, dude, I don't really have any memories of my marriage. The only memories I have of that marriage was just like taking care of a bunch of in-laws that are fucking retarded. It's like, that's the memory I have. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, that's the provider memory, and then the alpha Chad memory is just like having fun with women with no strings attached. And you get to, it's almost, you know what, I just thought about this. You know what it is? When you're like the Chad dude, it feels like being a kid again. And you're being a kid with other kids, and everyone's just playing together. And it's almost like the purest form of like just being a human. It's like you get to just play with other humans and just have fun. It's just that sex as an adult is a part of the fun, right? And it's like when you're like in this provider, like this kid was so serious about everything, he couldn't chill out. And it's like the provider like implant in like these men's heads, they're so serious and logical. Like, I must provide, I must make money, I must get the marriage, and I must have the sex and the kids. And it's like, of course she's gonna hate you, dude. She's like, the Chad over here played with her and had so much fun with her, and like at the end of her rope, she's like, well, at least this guy will pay my bills. Congratulations, dude, you're the bill payer. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I know I rambled on this one a little bit. Just keep this shit in mind, man. Do what you can to optimize to be a Chad. It doesn't mean you have to be a piece of shit. It just means you have to be the fun guy. You have to be the guy that they perceive as the fun guy, the guy with no strings attached, the guy that's not serious. And then here's the key. You get them in the door with that one. And then you want to turn it in. This is like maybe a video for another topic for another video. But you want to make her turn into like Beauty and the Beast, where she like tames the beast. So she's like, oh, I got the fun guy. Now I'm going to try and tame him and make him settle with me. That's the frame you want to be in. Because then she knows for the rest of your relationship that you can get other women and you're not just an ATM for her to suck dry for the rest of your lives. Anyway, guys, there's a little bit of a story time, but if you like this content, scroll down, hit that subscribe button. Think about this shit, man. Optimize to be a Chad. Don't just let the societal programming turn you into a slave in service of others with no joy of your own. You owe it to yourself to experience some of that joy, okay? A life of servitude is not joy, brother. And you will figure that out one way or another. You will figure that out. Scroll down, subscribe. See you guys in the next one.